My name is Satch, and I will be celebrating 6 years of sobriety in about 2 weeks. My childhood was great. I kind of had that silver spoon life, really. I never wanted for anything. I got everything that I needed, everything that I wanted, and to this day, probably a little more than I deserved. I came from a very powerful family. I was adopted at the age of 2. I didn't know the effect that that would have on me until I was much older and well into my drug use. But I got blessed. I was adopted into my own family. My mother is a very successful attorney, and so I got away with a lot of stuff. Got away with more than I should have. And so I feel like at a very young age, I felt like there was a possibility of me being able to get away with things. And that's where the trouble really started. My drug of choice was heroin, Opiate, OxyContin, anything that had any sort of painkiller in it. I wanted it by the boatload. It was the first drug I ever did. And so every other drug paled in comparison for me. I always wanted more opiates. That was the go-to. Loved it more than benzos. It was that drug that I found and said, I want to feel like this every day for the rest of my life. Was studious throughout high school. Kind of kept my nose down. Just got things done. That's when everything changed. Surprisingly quick. And I found myself wanting more and more of that and less of the things that I used to find joy in, especially growing up. Early years of my drug use, everybody was partying. Everybody wanted to be the drunkest. Everybody wanted to act the dumbest. The like school partying and stuff went on for probably 2-3 years. But then that's when everything just went straight to opiates. I got arrested for possession when I was 18 for the first time. And it was a 2nd-degree felony because of how much I had. My mom helped me, got me on deferred probation when they were trying to throw 20 years at me as an 18-year-old. But that wasn't enough. I didn't care. I was terrified every time I would go in because my first thought is like, oh my God, everyone's gonna know that I'm gay. Like everyone's gonna know that and everyone's gonna have opinions about that. So I'm gonna have to walk in here and act like I don't live in Great Hills, act like I'm not from a well-to-do family. I'm gonna have to walk up in here and act the part. The last time I was in jail, I met this guy and he's like, hey, let's go. You can come and stay with me and my mom. And of course, me being in jail for like 3 months, I'm like, that sounds great. Like, for sure, I'll go and live with you and your strange mother, who I have no idea who they are. We were in this little one-horse town, like outside of Dallas, Texas. I ended up forgetting about going back to court for that case. And so 3 years into my sobriety out here, I got pulled over on a technicality. They ran my name and saw that I had an active warrant out of Texas. And, you know, not having heard that in so long and being separated from that way of living for so long is a real shock. So, you know, I had to go and do my time there. I stayed in Theo Lacey right here in Orange. And then I got picked up and extradited to Texas. They made me fly from John Wayne, handcuffed and shackled. I mean, I felt like some sort of animal, the way people looked at me on that plane. But there are people who just have that stigma. And it also applies to addicts using drugs, because like, regardless of what you say, regardless of how you look, if you are presented a certain way, you're automatically that way. You know, there was a guy who sat next to me on the plane who was like, nobody told me that convicts were gonna be on this plane, and I was so hurt. And then I realized, I was like, this is a flight, like I'm never gonna see this guy again, you know, let him say what he's gonna say. You know, I know my truth. And that's the most important thing that helped get me through this whole thing, was knowing my truth and knowing the work that I've done on myself thus far. I remember the feeling when I woke up the day before I got sober, and something just told me, you know, it was like, it's time to do something different. You've had too many chances. There have been way too many risks. I had nothing to show for myself. I woke up after trying to overdose on purpose. I woke up in the bathroom on the floor of a seedy motel after the person that I'd been using with had like packed all of his stuff in the middle of the night while I was in the bathroom trying to hit a vein. When I finally came out of that room, I realized that like I felt more alone than I had ever thought possible. Covered in blood, a coagulated rig that was no good with the last bit of dope that I had in it. I had the largest heroin habit that I had ever had. I couldn't imagine, I could not imagine a life without heroin, but I could not imagine a life with heroin anymore. So I knew I had to do something. I knew it was going to be painful. I knew it was going to be scary. I knew it was going to be uncertain. I went to 27 treatment centers before I stopped for good. Each section of treatment had a pivotal role. So detox and residential taught me how to like not pick up. Outpatient taught me how to continue the momentum, and then that housing component taught me how to live. I am the director of admissions and business development for an outpatient facility called Dream Recovery. This place gave me the opportunity to heal when I didn't know that I needed to. There's so much love here. This is such a family environment. My job consists of, you know, being on the phone with somebody while they make that choice that was so hard for me to make almost 6 years ago. And to see how life goes full circle like that is incredibly inspiring. I never thought I'd be in the situation that I am in now. Being able to see the lights come on for somebody else is just the most rewarding thing. I love what I do for work. One of my bosses has almost 15 years sober. Another boss has almost 28. And I get to feel like I'm a part of something that's so much bigger than me. I get to see people every day that come in who weren't smiling the day before, feel safe. The thing that I'm most proud of is, being able to do this. I thought it was impossible. The way the cards laid. And it's crazy because I don't doubt the validity of my program. I don't doubt the ability to stay sober because I know that it's possible. I know what it's like to feel lost. I know what it's like to hurt. I know what it's like to feel so much pain that you don't think that there's any way that anybody could possibly understand it. I got sober because I wanted freedom. I got sober because I believed that I was worth it. And I stayed sober because, the gifts I've been given, why would I give that up? Don't doubt your ability to do something great. Don't doubt your ability to be something great. Because I was a lost cause, and now I'm proof that hope is never lost.